Christmas, take them to church. My name is Matthew Kroll.
And you've got to admit, I've played this stinking city like a harp from hell. My name is Shahir Dowd.
And this is the only podcast about movies, specifically not a specific film, just getting together for the holiday season to talk holiday films ever so briefly. We want to do an extra bonus episode for everybody. Just not on one thing. I know last year we did Jingle All the Way. Shout out to Randy Cordfield. What up, buddy? Also, we did Die Hard the year before. This year, we want to take a bit more of a crowdsourcing approach to what films we talked about this holiday season.
We didn't watch a movie. Just say it.
We've watched a lot of movies.
We didn't watch a specific Christmas movie, which is why we're doing this.
I was pushing real hard for Kurt Russell's The Christmas Chronicles.
I know you were.
It just didn't work out.
I'm noticing a distinct lack of eggnog in this room.
Oh, do you want to? You know why? I'll tell you straight up, and that's a wonderful transitional moment. The update video for extra credits this time for the end of the year update. I drink a half gallon of eggnog in it. You can check that out at extra credits on YouTube. It's incredibly painful, and I never want to see eggnog again.
I follow you on Twitter, so I'm aware.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Okay, so happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on, I don't know when we'll release this, probably right after we just did our Into the Spider-Verse one.
Well, why not on Christmas Day?
I think Christmas Eve. Give people, because otherwise, then people aren't going to want to hear about holiday movies after Christmas or after the days. Although, when does Hanukkah end, technically?
I don't know. It's 12 days, right?
Yeah. So, and there's a couple of, okay, holiday season kind of does last until the new year.
Right. You know, it's funny. I think I've explained this before as well. In New Zealand, Christmas falls in summer.
Yes.
It's summer over there. So, and that's the end of the year for everyone. You know, so people take longer breaks, and school holidays are around that period. So that's just, it's wonderful. I love it. Like you have summer barbecues for Christmas Day and that sort of thing.
Sorry. I was going to say, again, bringing it back to nerdy properties I love. Overwatch does holiday skins every year. Right. And Junkrat is from Australia. Oh. So all of his are like beachwear and like everyone, like this year they all got beverages like a hot toddy or like a hot cocoa or eggnog or whatever. But Junkrat literally has a boba tea, like an iced boba tea.
Yeah,
and it's like...
It's hot. Yeah. And so I love that whole period around Christmas there. And it is longer and it's just much more relaxed. I know, because here it feels like Christmas kind of gets crammed in after you've had a bunch of vacations already.
This holiday season, I have felt more stress, I think, than any other one in my entire life. And I don't know if that's just from getting older or getting more responsibility.
It's because you haven't found my prison yet. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's because you've been searching high and low.
Just couldn't find
for the perfect Shahir prison.
Perfect gift. But... yeah, so we didn't watch a specific film. I'm so sorry.
This is such a weird episode.
I wanted to watch Christmas Chronicles. We couldn't find the time. I'm still going to watch it because Kurt Russell, I think, would make a badass Santa. You know what I can review, though? Here's the deal. I can review the ad campaign for the Christmas Chronicles because when it first came out on Netflix, it's a Netflix Christmas movie, Kurt Russell, Santa Claus. I should be on board already. I saw the trailer or whatever they play, like when it automatically plays when you boot it up and no one likes it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this movie looks like trash.
Yeah.
And then about a week later, they started like actual ad campaigns on Twitter and on Instagram and a couple things that hit on websites that I go to. And it painted the movie in a completely different sort of fun light.
Okay.
And it got me wanting to see it, even though I know it's probably going to be bad.
Right.
And God, advertising is powerful. Like I know that's a stupid thing or an obvious thing to say, but we as human beings don't think we can be tricked because otherwise,
we're manipulated every day.
Yeah.
To what I'm wearing, to the way we're talking, to the way we're thinking about everything. It changes us in every single way.
And so for my opinion on this film to be flipped as hard as it is
it's so funny because you haven't even seen it.
No, but I really want to.
Right.
To the point, I'm at this point because we're going home for the holidays. I might save it for something to watch with my parents.
Right.
My dad will hate it. My mom will love it, no matter how bad it is.
Yeah. So if you at home have seen this movie, you can review it for us. Basically, do our jobs for us.
Please do our job.
Email us in at onlymoviepodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at onlymoviepod with only reviews for the Christmas Chronicles.
That's right. If you want to write in straight up, if you want to record a minute-long clip of you reviewing the Christmas Chronicles, I will play it. I will put it into whatever episode.
You'll do it. You'll do it hard.
I will do it so hard. So
Yeah.
do that if you'd like. But in lieu of this, I threw a holiday soiree. A white elephant party where you give crappy gifts you got at other white elephant parties around
gotta be
the
a
room.
white elephant, yeah.
Because I literally have a porcelain white elephant in my apartment that I stacked all of the gifts around.
Oh, man. I don't know if I'm down with this white elephant.
All
thing,
right.
but all right.
It's the non-denominational celebration of giving crap no one wants. I think that's appropriate for a white elephant.
All right.
So, but in typical fashion, we did this for our New Year's episode about our favorite films of the year. I invited people from the party to come in groups and tell me about their most favorite holiday films.
I love a Matt Kroll party, which is like, hey, guys, let's produce some content while you're here.
Content is king, and I'm making it, or I'm having other people make it with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Shahir, we've talked about holiday films a little bit, and before we get into all of our friends' sort of what they think the most pertinent holiday films are, I mean, what is yours?
So I think I've told the story about how one Christmas holiday I knew I would have free time and other people wouldn't be watching movies with me on the day. So I rented the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and watched it on Christmas Day, which was fun. It was like, because there's a scene in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre where it's a family dinner, with like the worst people on the planet, and I was like, this movie is so me right now. No. So I enjoyed that. I think in terms of Christmas movies, my go-to childhood Christmas movie would have to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I mean, that's a fucking great one.
Yeah, shit is full. I'm always there for that, and I'm there for Clark Griswold losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm always quoting that in the weirdest places.
You do quote that quite a bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm like the one I'm always saying. Well, ain't that the titty hooth? All the time for some reason. I just always bring that up. What about you?
Everyone knows mine. It's Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
But if I something I've had a inkling to go back and watch before the Google ad came out was Home Alone. I'd like to go back and watch the original Home Alone again. Yeah. And I think I will do that as well because I think there's a bit of magic in that film in itself. Did you see the Google thing?
I did see. Macaulay Culkin's looking good.
How do you feel about it?
It's an ad. It's an ad. I don't think it. You asked that in a way that suggests that I might feel something more controversial about it.
I don't know. It's so funny the things I randomly take umbrage with that are blatantly cashing in on my childhood, but like sometimes I love that and sometimes I don't. And for this one, and I'm trying to figure out why that is,
right? Like
why it's okay some places and not, and maybe it ties into the stuff that I actually personally identify with as opposed to things that I just enjoy,
right?
And Home Alone, I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, this is fun, but it's safe, and you're just doing it to. I mean, you know what got me the most out of it, honestly, was like they recreated that house like good. Like the set design, it is fucking
and
clutch.
Also all the camera angles for that are exactly the original movie.
So there's definitely some artistry to it. I don't know. It was just something interesting.
Okay.
But let's jump right into it.
Okay. Let's hear what other people have to say about Christmas
first things first, we are going to go to my friends. Let's see who's up. Babe Leo and Chelsea White.
Okay.
Chelsea White of multiple podcasts. Who did Cabernet and A, who did Ghosted Stories. She's on a show on Bravo called Adulting, which you should all check out. Also, Babe and Leo are two of my comedian friends. They do a show in Queens every third Thursday, I believe, at QED called Nito Badito.
Okay.
And they are hilarious people. And here are their favorite holiday films. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Hollandaise to all of you.
Happy Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs, the best. So I've dragged you away from the party.
Yes.
Yeah, which is fun.
To discuss
Kicking and screaming.
your favorite holiday films.
I feel this is giving me a lot of anxiety.
I know. It's hard to make a choice.
I wanna
when
say
you
the
love
right
so
thing.
many.
Decided.
Okay, you got it?
You can go first.
Leo,
'cause
please.
that's
I've
a lot.
decided 100% it's Elf.
What?
Elf.
100% it's
Why
Elf.
Elf?
I don't care about any other movie now except for Elf.
Okay.
At all in your life, regardless of the season?
Elf is my life. It's like it's everything.
It's just your identity.
It's your Bible?
There's so many just like points in this movie where Will Ferrell is the most Christmassy spaz of all time.
Sure.
Which is like the energy that I feel like that's I identify with.
All right.
also he's like kind of like an alien come from like another place. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like all of these are like actual feelings in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. I just want to support your decision real fast, just because I feel like it's so original too.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie is very original. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Because my favorite that I first think of, because I have so many favorites, is Scrooged, and
Wow.
I feel like because I love any retelling of A Christmas Carol.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
And there's so many retellings of that, and so I just want to say I do appreciate a Christmas movie that's very original and unique. But that being said, Scrooge is definitely comes first and foremost to my mind. I watched that movie when I was really young. Like, I was the youngest kid in my family, and so it's like I didn't, I watched movies I probably shouldn't have been watching, and that
Sure.
movie is actually pretty scary for kids.
It's not the tamest film for children.
I tried, my sisters and I, because we grew up watching that, and we showed it to my nephews, and they got scared immediately. And my nephew was like, he was just like, "What's happening?" And he was like, "Does Scrooge have a friend?" And we're like, "Okay, let's just turn it off." He was just like,
I think he missed the point.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, Chelsea.
Serious?
I really don't think I've seen it.
All
I
right.
know.
You got to see it.
My list of movies that like you haven't seen that are just like off the charts. Like I could win an
I'll make you a
award
list.
for
But
that category.
your favorite holiday movie,
I
Chelsea
thought that
Weiss.
this was going to be like very cliche and eye rolly, and maybe that's still the case. But maybe it's also weird. Home Alone is the only movie
That's
I
a
ever
good
want to
one.
watch at the holidays.
Solid.
That's a
That's
good
the
one.
only movie that I ever like go out of my way to be like, I want to revisit this. And again, maybe to our earlier point of like, I just felt like I had such a good experience with it when I was little. I remember like seeing it in the theater with my grandma, which is the only time I ever remember like seeing a movie in the theater with my grandma. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah, that movie really feels holiday-y to me. And I'll tell you what my favorite holiday movie isn't. Love Actually. That movie fucking blows. Don't at me.
So, some harsh words for Love Actually.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, there's a few mentions of that film throughout the interviews
Oh,
that I
wow.
conducted.
Okay, I'm there for some Love Actually.
Really? Do you like Love Actually?
I actually don't mind Love Actually.
Oh, wow.
I just
You actually don't mind?
I actually
Love
don't
Actually?
love actually love it. So the choices were Elf, Scrooged, and Home Alone,
Yes.
right? You know what? I don't think I've seen Elf.
What?
I don't think I've seen Elf. I feel like I've seen enough of it to know what it is, but when I think about like, have I sat down to watch Elf?
It's worth a watch.
Hey man, without Elf, we wouldn't have Iron Man.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
But it's
I don't know why I'm saying that, like why I would care about that. But
but
I'm just
hey,
saying,
you know what?
without Elf, we wouldn't have Iron Man.
remember how we were talking about how you could be influenced by everything?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, no. So, I haven't checked it out, I guess. But I'm very much there for Scrooge.
So Scrooged is interesting. I've seen it once, and
I've
I've
seen it a
seen
bunch of times.
forever ago.
Yeah.
From what I remember, and please correct me if I'm wrong, some discussions I've had with other people about it, it doesn't hold up in a sort of good sort of 2018.
Oh no.
Yeah, but if you take it for what it was.
And it's also directed by Richard Donner, who is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like the best Superman director, the
Yep,
best
yep.
Lethal Weapon director. So I think I love this period of Bill Murray.
Yes.
Because it's interesting that this whole podcast is kind of predicated on the Netflix Christmas special starring Kurt Russell. Last year, was it last year or the year before? They did a Netflix Christmas special with Bill Murray.
Which was it was an actual special, not a film. Like
yeah,
it was like
it was a
him
musical, and it was
yeah.
directed by Sofia Coppola, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I watched it, and I couldn't watch it.
I couldn't finish it.
I
No.
couldn't finish it. No, I sort of watched like half an hour of it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm kind of done with this. And I was like, I like that Bill Murray has this sort of post Lost in Translation renaissance where he has become noted as a sort of savant actor kind of thing, whereas I think probably pre Rushmore he was kind of the zany SNL style character.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. I'm trying to think what it was. Caddyshack. That sort of zany guy that you bring in. And sort of he's had this amazing renaissance, a couple of Oscar nominations, that sort of thing. But I like this period of the Scrooge period of Bill Murray, and the film like
Was that before or after Groundhog Day?
well before.
Okay.
Well before.
That's what I thought.
I think Groundhog Day is the high point of this period
Yes.
of Bill Murray. But the other movie I really like in this period of Bill Murray-ness is Quick Change.
Oh, wow.
The heist movie, which I think he's just phenomenal in, phenomenally sad in, playing a clown. So, but regardless, I enjoyed Scrooge just because I think the main reason I enjoy it is Bill Murray. I just like this era of Bill Murray.
And Bill Murray does seem like the right person to take the A Christmas Carol story and kind of turn it a bit on its head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think all three of those choices, Elf, Scrooged, and of course Home Alone, which we discussed, are all solid.
But Love Actually, I know Love Actually in recent years has been, because I think Love Actually also kind of kicked off the holiday theme movies.
It did.
Like Valentine's Day, even though it's not directed
New
by
Year's Day. Just wait. We got more Love Actually coming up. So let's get into that, because there's some people that discuss it in more depth than just quote "Don't at me," Chelsea White.
I have no strong opinions about Love Actually.
Get ready. Buckle up.
Okay.
There's some strong opinions. Actually, let's move on that note. We're going to now go to Jamie, Elise, and Tanya. Jamie, of course, the art director over at The Very Warm and my fantabulous girlfriend. Elise, the co-host of our sister podcast, Speaking of Carrie, and a phenomenal actor. And Tanya, who works over at Michael Kors. I'm just trying to give people background so they...
I just love the Jamie one is like a very warm, my fantabulous girlfriend. I was like, is she a warm fantabulous? I know what she is. I know
Her
the company
is called The Very Warm. She is the art director of an outerwear design.
I know. It's just the way the run-on sentence kind of made it seem like a very warm...
She's a very warm girlfriend, too. It's fine. She's a lovely person. What are you trying to say? Anyway, here are three of my favorite ladies in the world.
So the sexy answer right now is to say Die Hard, which is a great movie, and I like it a lot as a holiday movie. But I like Family Man.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage.
All right.
I don't know that I have anything articulate. It feels modern enough, but it's got that sort of magic edge, but it's just this kind of realistic feeling about this flawed but not villainous person who is in a life that he just walked into, and he walks a different direction. He gets the chance to walk a different direction, and it changes him. I think I watched it on TV with my mom one year, and I watched it with Tanya on New Year's Eve Christmas Eve 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, you were out of town, and Tanya and I were in town.
The amount of sadness that just washed over Elise's face.
Elise, it's okay.
Sorry, Elise, we betrayed you.
Elise, welcome back to the studio of our sister podcast, Speaking of Carrie.
Speaking of Carrie,
Welcome back.
Hello.
Favorite holiday film? Go.
So I use almost like Christmas movies as like therapy. Like, what do I need this year? Most years it was Elf. I love Will Ferrell. That's a given about me. I was in high school when Elf came out. I think I was like a sophomore or like a junior. And then it was my mom's birthday coming up in November. And then we all went to see Elf. And like my family was together for the last time. And we all went and saw Elf. And then went to like our favorite restaurant. And I was like, life's awesome. Anyway, wow, that went really dark. Will Ferrell has kept my brother and my mother and I together. He is our staple. Literally, this year, we're going to go see Holmes and Sherlock on Christmas Day.
There you go.
Because that's how the only way we can relate through each other is through fucking Will Ferrell.
Tanya, follow that.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna win, everyone.
Okay.
I'm gonna win Christmas. Love Actually.
Whoa.
I know. I heard previously someone else spoke about this, how it was the worst movie. I disagree. It is a great movie. It has like all the love you need, all the like the songs, like the music. It has like the multiple like stories going on, so like you don't get bored. There's like so many things going on. There's like different ages. There's like different like feelings of like what's happening. I don't know. I think it's so cute. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be crying. I want to feel like love is something possible in my life.
All right.
I hate being this guy, but I love that, like, you need multiple stories to stop being bored. I'm like, what do you like during normal movies? Like,
No, I mean, well, no, but there are
Lord of the
multiple
Rings must have been hell for this person.
No.
No, I'm just messing with you. So what are the choices there? It was.
We have Family Man,
Now, for some reason in my brain, I thought this was
a Gore Verbinski film.
Gore Verbinski film, which was The Wither Man, which
Yes.
is the Gore Verbinski film, also with Nicolas Cage. But Family Man is basically kind of like an updated version of A Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
also an updated version of It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Yeah.
But with Nicolas Cage, directed by Brett Ratner.
Yep.
I have not seen it. I have not seen it.
I saw it again forever ago, and when Jamie brought it up, I didn't have much to say because I don't remember it. But it's always interesting that I love finding out people's sort of favorite holiday films, because now I will go back and watch it. Like I will go and figure out. Like I want to see why.
Even with the Ratner at the helm,
I want to know. I want to know why it is my girlfriend's favorite Christmas movie.
Okay, fair enough.
And then obviously Elise with her heartwarming / sad story about Elf.
Yep.
That's a second vote for Elf.
I gotta watch Elf. I gotta sit down to watch Elf.
If we're keeping score.
Yeah.
Keeping families together, and of course Tanya with Love Actually. Something I really enjoy about Tanya and people with Tanya's disposition is, look, I don't like Love Actually, but
oh really?
I don't really like it. It's funny, the things that Tanya found interesting and like the multiple storylines that kept her sort of invested throughout, I found as distractions, and I didn't like the structure of it, even beyond the cheesiness of it.
Right.
But I love that the holidays can really go two different ways for people. It can be a time of depression where you feel like a crushing obligation to do the right things by your family or friends, or it can actually, especially when you're younger, but also if you can just power through, be a real hopeful time and like a time of sort of revival and resubrance and sort of resubrance. That's resolve and resubrance. Yeah. You knew what I meant. So I really appreciate that Tanya brought up Love Actually in a positive note, because it is a positive film, and it does give you the idea that love can truly exist.
Love
actually exists.
I know Love Actually has become like there's a lot of think pieces written about Love Actually right now in terms of like whether it actually represents love in a way that is meaningful, or whether it represents love in a way that is trite and somewhat superficial. Especially the famous sort of card holding scene with a man from The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah.
Andrew Lincoln, yeah. And Keira Knightley. I just have no strong opinions about that movie, having only seen it the one time. I remember the Bill Nighy story where he acknowledges that he's gay and hasn't been able to acknowledge that his entire life. I remember that being kind of like affecting at the time.
Yeah.
But again, I saw it so long ago. I wonder if it would hold up, or whether I would fall in line with all the think pieces of like suggesting that this is actually not a good representation of love.
Well, everyone should email us at onlymoviepodcast@gmail.com or add us at onlymoviepod on Twitter and tell us what you think of Love Actually.
Who directed Love Actually? It's Richard Curtis, who I do like. Richard Curtis gets a bad rap as being sort of overly sentimental, but I
not as bad of a rap as Brett Ratner.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but he wrote a movie that I'm going back to the
do it. Just go down to the machine.
No, it's not Bridget. He wrote. I like Notting Hill. And did he write Four Weddings? Yes, I love Four Weddings and a Funeral. I adore Four Weddings and a Funeral. So
well, carrying along with that,
bro?
with that number 4. Now we're gonna up the number of friends in the room. Shahir.
Oh wow.
Okay, we're going to Becky, Matt, Sammy, and Joe, and they have very, very different holiday films from one another. Check this out.
All right, hit me.
I have a tendency every Christmas to rewatch all the Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
Normally around Thanksgiving, I would just put one on in the background, and then suddenly I was like, I want to watch them all now. And then I would just go through the whole series through Christmas.
Is there anything about them? I'm going to try to tie this to the holidays, Sammy. I'm really going to try.
Okay, so many movies. Joe, help me out here, because we normally watch them together.
I mean, there's a lot of fireplaces and
snow,
wooden
and
houses
roads
and people chatting. And
yes, and it's so pleasant, and
Sure.
it's escapism, and it's
Sure.
sort of like, I just want to disappear into this world.
Okay, all right.
They bring comfort.
Okay, moving on. Matt, favorite holiday film?
Favorite holiday film has to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, Jingle All the Way.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! That is my favorite holiday film of all time.
I had that on VHS as a kid. I'm pretty sure I watched it like 50 times.
I own it on Blu-ray. We've had the writer of that film on this very podcast, Randy Cornfield. He's awesome.
And I just remember all the names of the reindeer because Arnold Schwarzenegger has that scene where he's like trying to race Sinbad down the street to this radio station, like chanting Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. And that's why I know all of the reindeer names because of that scene.
As you've just proved.
All right, Becky, top that.
I cannot.
No, yes, you can. If anyone can.
Well, I want to say Love Actually, but really what I've watched more at Christmas is going to be Die Hard. The first one. Yeah. It's
Which
a
is
beautiful
rated
Christmas
like number
movie.
4 on top holiday movies.
It's a great holiday movie.
All right, Joseph.
Okay, this is not a Christmas movie. It's more about when it came out and when it was released and how it makes me feel. Fellowship of the Ring. It's
All
a
right.
movie I watch every Christmas. I don't know if anybody remembers when it came out, but it really was every like December 20th when we all went to the movies together, and it was just very much part of Christmas for about 3 years. And now I watched it every Christmas.
So as soon as Sammy said Harry Potter, I 100% understood what you mean. It's got nothing to do with the content of the film itself.
I like the fireplaces analogy.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got to because I completely understood this.
Yeah.
It's to do with the fact that those movies came out during Christmas.
Sure.
And so a Christmas tradition for a lot of people for like 8 years
was
to go to the Harry Potter movies after you've had the meal or whatever.
And it's so interesting the cultural. God, because culture's moving quickly now, obviously, more quickly, I feel like, than it ever has before, thanks internet, for good or bad. And now, things like that, a film series that has 8 iterations that can become like a cultural phenomenon around the holidays.
Right, yeah.
That has nothing to do with the holidays. I mean, Lord of the Rings, what Joe said, is a similar beast only for 3 years, but...
I think Star Wars had the opportunity to do that, but they didn't release a film this year.
Right.
But like Star Wars was kind of getting to this thing where they were releasing a film every Christmas.
Yeah.
And I understood. And sorry, apologies on the names, but the Englishman.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, who I have met, by the way. I totally understood the thing with the Fellowship of the Ring. It's the same principle, which is that the movies would come out on Christmas, so you would go on Christmas Day to see that film. Fun fact: I'm in the third one.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows now.
We've
talked about it so much.
Really? I thought we just talked about the Black Power Ranger thing.
No, we talked about that too. I bring up that one more because I love that one too.
Right.
You bring up the things you bring up. Much like if it's anything I'm shilling
I
for
love
Marvel.
how you have like an amazing memory for this, but not for other things.
I don't know anything I can do to shame you. No, you bring up this and wait. Actually, did you teach film school?
No.
Oh.
That's an entire myth.
Okay.
That's an entirely made up fake news.
Anyway, and then also, of course, Becky and Matt. Matt, of course, you when we were listening to it, you were like, "There's no wrong answer," but you did the right answer.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I love how Matt kind of like, "Fuck yeah!" I was like, "There's no wrong answer." But if you say this, you win all the points.
But hey, listen, us Matt's got to stick together, and then of course, obviously, Becky with Die Hard is
so there's a fun controversy around Die Hard every year. This year they've done that trailer which basically leans into the fact that it's a Christmas movie. I think I can't remember we had this conversation. Maybe I went the other way on this when we talked about it. I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It's 100% a Christmas movie,
but it has. Because I think I wanted to find a paradigm for like what defines a Christmas movie, but superficially it is a Christmas movie. Like for me, a Christmas movie has to be about the spirit of humanity around that time of year. Whereas I think that is a movie which takes place in that time of year.
I think there is one aspect or read of Christmas.
Yeah,
I
don't think it's wrong or
I
right.
know. I'm saying, but like for instance, if you want to look at things like there's 2 things that need to make it sort of to make a film a Christmas film. One, it has to take place during the holiday. Die Hard does that. It's at a Christmas party. So there you go. Right. 2, there needs to be something of a hopeful or positive thing having to do with family or having to do with preservation or something along the lines, which a lot of action films tend to have anyway. Now, granted, Die Hard is about reconnecting with his family in a weird-ass fucking way around the holidays at a Christmas party in Nakatomi Plaza that is taken over by Hans Gruber and his merry band of terrorists. And also, here's the other thing, too. Hans's plan is pure capitalism and not ideology, which is exactly what Christmas has turned into. So I
love you. You're like, I've nailed this movie.
I really have. There's no wrong answer, but there's definitely a right one, and I just did it. No, so I love the conversation because I do love talking about it. I just think I'm right. Yeah, I think great choices all around for that group of friends. Moving on, we have Nick, Will, Colin, and Kristen. So Nick and Kristen have been on the show before. Nick, Parker, and Kristen fight.
Yeah, of course.
They've been on the show a couple different times.
I said that. Yeah, of course. I was texting Nick just last week.
Oh, there you go. How's he doing? I know. I just saw him. They were on the Warcraft episode and a couple of others, and also Will Temper, who is a fantastic comedian.
Who's never been on the show?
Who has never been on the show. No, he has. Hasn't he?
No, I don't think so.
I think he has.
Not with me.
Oh, maybe he covered the other thing. But Will, he is a fantastic. He has a fantastic UCB team. He also named Garlic Jackson. He also is releasing his first short film shortly. Oh, cool. He and his team did a film called Our Friend Died.
Okay.
And it's a comedy short film. He's sending it to festivals right now. And Colin Nichols, who is a fantabulous human being who also works in fashion. Here we go. Here are their favorite holiday films.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to throw out Claymation Christmas out there.
Okay.
So literally it's every Christmas story possible done as in claymation. So you have like the Raisinets from back in the day from the 90s commercial. They have a segment on being the three wise men.
Okay.
Yes, with complete musical number.
All right.
You also have a whole segment with like Rudolph. You have a whole segment that's supposed to be kind of the Jewish iteration of things. So it's something that we always had on VHS that we had to watch every day. I think it came out in the 80s.
I'm sure it
originally.
did. It sounds as though it did.
But I just remember vividly this like one raisin that had the deepest soulful voice that just like took over the whole entire thing.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. Claymation Christmas. Will.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
I know your answer, but I want to hear you say it.
So my favorite Christmas film is the 1974 holiday classic Black Christmas.
That's
Probably, in my opinion, one of the best horror movies ever made, and it sort of started the Stalker franchise, which everyone thinks Halloween did, but Black Christmas predates Halloween by 4 years. Black Christmas is also directed by Bob Clark, who directed A Christmas Story. So there you go, very much a Christmas film.
Wow.
V spooky, V fun. We got Margot Kidder, we got Cara Julia, we got Olivia Hussey, some of your favorites.
He just did the double shakas when he said favorites.
No, that's not shakas. That's Surf's Up. That's Hang
That's
Loose.
a shaka.
Yeah. Oh,
not shocker.
Okay, I did think that's what you said.
No,
Yes.
he wasn't doing double shockers.
I wasn't doing double shockers, everybody. All right. Yeah. But you know what? I also got to say I enjoyed this year's 2018's Christmas film, Ben is Back, which takes place entirely on Christmas Eve.
Okay. All right. Kristen.
Well, this is a perfect segue because mine is a Christmas story.
Whoa. Wow.
Okay, but let me tell you why. Because this is
No.
Yes, for non-obvious reasons. This is a debate in my household every year because half of my family loves it and half of my family hates it, and it's really funny to watch with both sides. I don't know. There's something nostalgic about it. I love that it's the marathon movie classic of TBS and cable, and it's just got so many great lines. And I don't know. I love it. My dad likes to complain that the dad in the Christmas Story is way too old to be Ralphie's dad, and the casting is terrible. But I think it makes it great.
All right, Nick Parker, bring us home, buddy.
Okay, mine's actually Inglourious Bastards. It's not a holiday film, but I watch it every Christmas, and I have it playing on repeat.
Can I ask you why?
Yes. So whenever it first came out, I fell in love with it, and then my parents were watching, TBS, whatever.
Very funny
stuff that plays. Christmas Story?
Yeah. Christmas
all that
Story
stuff that
on
plays
TBS,
over and over, and I was
starting
like,
at 8.
hey, I don't want to watch this. Can I put on something else? Like, yeah, sure. And I put on Glorious Bastards. And then it just started happening over and over. And when it was done, I would just replay it.
Full circle.
Yes, I love, A Nightmare Before Christmas, but this is something that every Christmas it's on.
So
it's playing.
You.
I'm not making it up either. I'm not making it up.
I know. No, 100% you're not making it up. This is entirely on Nick Parker's brand. The only way this could be more on brand for you is if we had a Yeti logo across your answer.
And Rumblemans was casually being sipped.
Brought to you by Rumblemans and Yeti.
Nick Parker with Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Yeti is a cooler brand that Nick Parker has bought almost everything from, and tweets at them so much that they literally added back him saying, "We see you, Nick Parker. What's your address so we can send you free stuff?"
Oh, really?
They sent him so much nice stuff. This is it's like the highest end cooler brand you can possibly buy. And so
let that be a lesson. Just if you want to be seen, just tweet hard.
Just take 3 years of your life and retweet and comment on everything that a corporation, and they'll eventually send you some free hats.
We see you. So what I just want to call out one thing. There was Bob Clark, who was mentioned twice in that little run there with The Christmas Story and Black Christmas. 2 Bob Clark films.
Yep.
I have not seen.
Really?
I have not seen A Christmas Story.
How is that possible?
Because A Christmas Story has not penetrated New Zealand the way it has America.
You have to watch that film.
I do have to watch it. I'm very aware of it because when I came to America the first time as a college student around Christmas, everyone was like talking about it and watching it, and I had a friend that looked like Ralphie, and they were like, and everyone was making fun of him, and I didn't understand why. So I will have to watch it one day. But that film I know is a big deal here.
Sure.
Absolutely did not make an impression in New Zealand.
Wow.
So I have not seen that. But the reason I want to call out Bob Clark is he made one of my favorite legal films, a film called From the Hip, which I talked about on our O.J. Simpson episode. It was like that film made me want to be a lawyer.
Apparently not hard enough.
No, I didn't follow through. I didn't say it made me like not lazy.
There you go.
But it made me want to think about being a lawyer at least.
Okay.
So Black Christmas. Yeah, we did talk about Black Christmas on our Halloween episode.
Yes,
because it does predate Halloween as the Stalker film. Before then, and what were the other choices there?
And then Claymation Christmas, which I have seen once back in the day.
I think I've seen little bits and pieces.
It was a television film, I believe. I've seen it on television.
I've seen the raisin thing.
Yeah, the California raisins.
Yeah.
I've seen bits of that. Man, that's from the time when Claymation was like coming into the mainstream and just intensely terrifying. Like the claymation was never like it was impressive, but it was like always felt melty.
Yeah.
It wasn't all just stop motion, it was literal clay.
So I think I definitely remember it. I'm surprised for claymation no one has said The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Someone mentioned it briefly. Parker mentioned it. I think he said he loved Nightmare Before Christmas, but
okay, so I'm surprised that is the claymation movie to go to. But then I remember I think someone talked about like what is the I read this somewhere this week about like what is the most embodiment of Christmas in a film, and the someone mentioned the Community Christmas episode, which goes into claymation.
Nice.
Which I think embodies the spirit of Christmas. I think there was something you said before about Die Hard being definitely a Christmas movie, and I'm kind of like 50-50 on that. But as we were doing this, I was on Twitter, not because I'm not paying attention to you, but I was on Twitter while we were talking, and someone tweeted a photo of Eyes Wide Shut rebranded as a Christmas film. And I was like, oh yeah, so like that is the entire, like, would we call Eyes Wide Shut a Christmas movie?
I haven't seen it in so long. I can't. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise tied up with a ribbon, looking all wholesome.
Yeah, back to back. Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut takes place on Christmas. It is about the rejuvenation of a relationship on Christmas. Admittedly, it is very sexually explicit and is directed by one Stanley Kubrick. But would you call that a Christmas movie?
The way you've described it, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, because it meets my criteria.
Yeah, but see, that's why I think your criteria fails. Is that it's
you
not.
You can't tell me my criteria fails.
Why?
It's what I think a Christmas movie is.
Oh, so your criteria is entirely subjective.
I mean, everyone's technically is.
So I can't be I can't critique your criteria.
You can have your own criteria.
So, but I can't critique your criteria.
Sure, you can critique it. Sure,
okay, I think your criteria fails because I don't think just being on Christmas is the definition of.
But also, it's about the rejuvenation of a relationship.
I don't think Eyes Wide Shut is a Christmas movie, and I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
But you just said that there was about two things.
I love that someone has interpreted it this way, but
I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't want to have like a super strong argument for it because I don't remember a ton of it. But just the description you said fits my premise.
Yeah, it fits your premise because but I'm just pulling out the things that say. But if you watch that film, I don't think you watch that. I don't think anyone watches that film and goes, "This is a Christmas movie."
But if it is about the things that you said.
You really need to watch Eyes Wide Shut again. But I think what I'm saying is you're saying that just by period of the film defines it as a Christmas movie, and I think it's more substantive.
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. It has to. That's one of the two things.
And I don't think Die Hard is substantive about Christmas.
But I think it is because it involves things. This is the weird crux of it all.
Yeah,
is. a lot of films and a lot of heroic stories or stories about connecting again with loved ones, let's just say, as a very broad sense, would fit the criteria of being a Christmas movie because that's a very Christmas or holiday-esque theme,
right?
If they took place during Christmas. It's the two things that make it. It's not just one. For instance, if Die Hard, if it was a New Year's party, it wouldn't be a Christmas movie, even though
would it be a New Year's movie then?
But New Year's isn't about family values.
I mean, if they took place on Easter, would it be an Easter movie then?
Easter is also not about family.
Yeah, it is. Easter is about the rejuvenation of the family.
Easter's about the resurrection of Christ.
Yeah. So is
it though? It's about chocolate eggs and a bunny.
So this is what I'm saying is I don't look. When people say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, I'm not saying no, it's not a Christmas movie.
You just did.
I'm saying is that if we're going to define Christmas movie and have a conversation about Christmas movies, I think that it needs, to me, if we're going to say it's my own criteria, that the substantive thing is that it needs to be about the spirit of Christmas.
I agree. I agree with that criteria. Yeah. I think it meets it. You think it doesn't.
I don't think Die Hard is specifically about that.
I think the aspects of John McClane's journey and understanding how important his family is to him is about that. It's the same thing as It's a Wonderful Life. It's just told in a fucking destructive skyscraper.
I'm going to disagree, but I'm going to disagree
All right, well,
pretty heavily on
that's
that.
fine.
But when people say Die Hard is the greatest Christmas movie ever, I'm not going to say...
Also, go back and listen to our Die Hard episode. That was a
I
lot
may
of
have said Die Hard is a Christmas movie on that episode.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, we got one more group of friends.
All right.
We got Spencer.
This is so good. I don't have any friends, so this is like a good way to
living vicariously. Spencer, Matt, Isabel, and Steve taking us home. Stephen Buja, of course, of Oscar Watch and my old co-host on Same Night Movie Review. Let's have them all take us magically home.
I want to guess what Steve's. I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
And say that Steve's is It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Or A Christmas Story.
Okay, here we go.
Let the parties at the
Well, we started with Drowning Pool, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, everybody. We are back.
Eid Mubarak. Just kidding. That was weeks ago.
Why not? Don't worry about it. We are here with more friends at the Christmas party. Matt, Isabel, Spencer, Steve.
Hey,
welcome everyone.
What's up? Satan.
We're talking favorite holiday films. Now, I just want to lay this out there for people. People have picked some films that I would not consider holiday films, but they've then defended them with traditions where I am like, okay, it passes. I just want to put that out there in your minds.
Yeah.
If you do put something out that is not a traditional holiday movie, that's fine, but be prepared to defend that to the death.
I defend everything to the death because I do not care about my life.
That's fair. That's fair. We're gonna get to you, Matt. Let's start over here, buddy.
I guess the only traditional holiday movie I have is Elf at this point.
All right,
we watch it several times every December, and it just keeps on getting better.
All right, moving on.
Alrighty. Well, I would have to say, Elf, and my other two favorites are Holiday Inn and Christmas in Connecticut, which both are from the 40s, 50s?
Okay.
Yeah. Holiday Inn is it's starring Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. And Christmas in Connecticut, slightly less well known, but it's about a soldier who starves and then goes and lives in a woman's home who's pretending to be, Martha Stewart and is actually a writer who has never cooked or cleaned a day in her life.
Oh.
And she falls in love with him, but she's actually engaged to another dude. And she has a fake baby, and they play with a cow
this is a TV
together.
Show. Yeah. Christmas in Connecticut sounds a lot more involved.
Well,
it's definitely not.
All right, Spencer, hit us.
I'm gonna say The Strangers.
Okay. Why?
Okay, so my sister and I, every Christmas, we just watch sci-fi and horror films all day long. And I like The Strangers in particular because it's so horrifying and so possible. And I think it's really important that even on Christmas Day or any other major bank or religious holiday,
okay,
we remember that it could still happen now. This could be
You're literally talking about like home invasion and murder.
Yes,
could happen at any point.
Three people break into
Have you seen
a
Home
cabin
Alone?
and they.
Yeah. Why not pick Home Alone, Spencer?
Because nobody dies.
All right, that is but in all fairness,
questionable.
They should die. Like a lot of those
die.
things should have killed them.
They would very much in real life. Kevin is a murderer.
Yeah.
Kevin is the guy from Jigsaw, I believe.
Kind of.
I've always said this, and people are always down my throat about it. I'm like, how is Home Alone not a Saw prequel?
Steve, take us home, buddy.
My favorite Christmas movie is it's a very short film called The Snowman. It's an animated movie. Spencer's very excited about
that
this.
one.
Yeah, it's this story of this little boy who makes a snowman. Snowman comes to life, and
This is not Frosty.
This is not Frosty.
Like Frankenstein.
It is a silent film. It has a musical interlude that is one of the greatest musical interludes in cinema history.
Okay,
according this is my opinion.
According to you.
Yeah, according to me. And the snowman comes to life. They have adventures. They fly to North Pole. They meet Santa, and it's actually touching and also sad at the end. I really like it. It's a quick.
Because they all die?
Well, spoiler alert, folks. The snowman melts at the end because
Oh,
that's
wow.
what snowmen do.
Yeah.
Well, Frosty doesn't though because he's a lich.
That
he
is
goes back
quite
into his
true.
factory.
Because where are the hearts? This is the soul.
I mean, look, there could be a lot of different places.
Whatever.
It's in the
No,
hat.
but the snowman. It's a lovely thing. I think you can even find it on YouTube for free. It's a heartwarming movie.
Not for the snowman until
And
the end.
it's important, I think, also to remember that life can be a beautiful and enriching experience, even if you know that you're gonna melt soon.
I think it makes it more beautiful.
And on that note,
Way to bring it down.
we're all gonna melt soon.
That's true.
Happy holidays, everybody!
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and sharing.
It changed.
Thank you.
We all melt down here. Join us, won't you? So I was 100% wrong on Stephen Buscemi's choice, which is a really good choice. I really like his choice there. I think I would have. It would have been really interesting if he picked the Thomas L. Fredison film, The Snowman.
I know. There's a part that I actually cut out of this because it went on too long when we go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, I've been curious if that was the case.
Yeah.
No, some really interesting choices there. So run them back by me again, just so.
Just so we have it, we have Spencer's is The Strangers because, of course, Spencer's is The Strangers. The third one for Elf, making Elf our champion if we are having.
There's no right answer, but here are all the points.
But apparently Elf has all the points. Isabel had Holiday Inn and Christmas in Connecticut, some 1940s specials, though she did kind of give that half vote to Elf as well.
Yeah.
And then Steve did The Snowman.
Yeah. So interesting choice in there. I think they highlight the most important part, especially with the strangers, that Christmas. You know, like your Christmas movie is your Christmas movie, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And so. There's a funny story about The Strangers, which is that it has this sort of big thing slapped on it that says based on a true story.
Yep.
But the true story part is someone just knocked on their door in the middle of the night and then went away.
Yeah.
And so, it was extrapolated. So there's a very loose true story
A
part
home
there.
invasion has happened in the past.
Yeah, but
and
not
therefore.
but not to this person,
Right.
and not in this way or anything like that. No, but I think where we come out on this is
Kevin McAllister is Jigsaw.
Definitely Kevin McAllister grows up to be Jigsaw. Let's play a game.
Yeah.
But your Christmas movie is your Christmas movie,
Yes.
right? Like it's just the movie you like around the holiday period.
Or your holiday movie itself. And this is the other thing, too. A lot of these, I think almost all of them are actually Christmas films, with the exception of maybe the Claymation one, even though it's called a Claymation Christmas, but they have some Hanukkah
I think
stuff.
The Strangers is the non-Christmas.
No.
movie.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, too. But I'm saying, like, I'm trying to think of the other Yule, like, Winter Souls, midwinter holiday things. I'm trying to think of, like, is there a famous Hanukkah film? Is there a famous...
The only one that comes to mind right now is 12 Days of Hanukkah, which was the Adam Sandler comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Animated comedy.
Kwanzaa or any of the sort of the solstice holidays too. I'm wondering if there's and why that hasn't. The
reason probably is that Christmas is the most commercially viable.
And that's that's where I was going to kind of get to. And I want to make that very clear. I think everyone who's listened to the show in the past knows at least my religious affiliation is none.
Is Kwanzaa.
No, but the the reason, obviously, that I glom onto Christmas is because
glom?
I did is twofold, and it's the reason why I think Jingle All the Way is the best Christmas film is because it's about naked consumerism, and that is what this holiday has turned into.
Right.
And Christmas itself, even the Christian or Catholic Christmas, is just bits and pieces of older religions that it took to help convert pagans away from their the whole thing is a wash.
Yeah.
So I like looking at Christmas as a non-religious entity in my eyes.
Right.
And now I just want to transition into one other side thing, which there's been a lot of, obviously, of course, the quote war on Christmas.
I don't think there is ever been a war.
There
on
has
Christmas.
never been a war on Christmas. People that get, for lack of a better term, I'll say butthurt about saying happy holidays are fucking assholes. It's like, just be nice to people and say nice stuff, you dummies. Like, look at your fucking religion. Anyway, sorry, tangent. I got heated.
Yeah, you did get heated. I just had to leave the room.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
I don't know. This was a fun exercise. I'm very glad we didn't watch a film and we got to have all of our friends talk about them instead.
I'm just going to mention one other film, which was obviously my quote at the beginning, which I hope you've emailed us in and told us what it was. But my quote was from Batman Returns, and I think there is something warm about Batman Returns as a Christmas movie, but it also goes against exactly what I said about Die Hard, which is I don't think it's necessarily a Christmas movie, but I think it conjures the feeling of me watching it at Christmas.
And isn't that, you just said a Christmas movie can be anything that makes your own Christmas movie. So
what we've learned,
that actually ties into my thesis.
No, here's the Christmas miracle of this episode.
Oh,
Shahir is a hypocrite. that's the Christmas miracle.
It's the greatest gift you could have ever given me.
Yeah, I know. Every time you hear Shahir say something wrong, an angel gets its wings.
Well, not wrong. I don't think anything you say is wrong. I just, there's also other versions of it.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah, like whatever, man.
I watched you were like, you didn't like The Big Lebowski.
And I never said that. I said I don't get the hype train behind it. I think it's a good film.
I watched it again recently. I could make that my Christmas movie. I love that movie
All right,
so much.
do it.
I watched it again recently. It's so good.
Do it. You won't.
I will.
Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for indulging us on this lovely holiday thing. I just wanted to put out a little extra something with everybody, just to sort of, as a weird mini, if you care, thank you for your year of listening. Just one extra thing.
Explain yourself, bro.
I don't know. I just wanted to do a little extra.
Crying?
Thing.
I'm
not crying. You're crying.
Is there a single tear coming out of one eye?
Listen, there was a couple tears coming out for Spider-Verse, but not this episode. Anyway,
and if you know what I'd love though is if you could write us in with your Christmas choice, and here's what I want. I don't want to hear Elf. I want you to take your Elf. We get it. You like Elf.
Elf
I
won.
I don't want to hear.
Won.
I don't want to hear about Love Actually. You can take your Love Actually, walk out the door, write a sign about it.
Okay.
What I want to hear is your strangest Christmas movies. I like the
Like
idea
The Strangers.
like The Strangers. I want and like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I want to hear about those movies that should never be watched during Christmas. If you are watching Pasolini Salo during Christmas,
the Cremaster cycle.
The Cremaster cycle, exactly. I want to hear about the weird shit that you're watching during Christmas.
The original Dune film.
Oh yeah, David. Yeah, you should be watching any David Lynch movie during Christmas. Okay, no, I want to hear about the weird things that you've watched during Christmas. Porn doesn't count. Onlymoviepodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter @onlymoviepod.
Yeah.
Although, is there a Christmas porn movie? They must be.
Is there a Christmas?
There is a
porn
Santa
movie?
thing, right? SantaCon was just on.
Fuck SantaCon, by
Really?
the way. The event SantaCon, I have huge problems with.
Really?
It's just because you're taking an image of childhood and turning it into a fucking drunken asshole. Like,
But isn't that the subversive quality of SantaCon? Like, that's the point.
But people are literally putting on a children's costume in order to justify them being dicks. And it's fucking terrible.
What about the good people that go to SantaCon?
There are no good people that go to SantaCon.
You hear it here first. If you are a SantaCon
One
visitor,
time,
you're a terrible person.
Yes, and also Jamie and I were coming back from a party in Jersey on the bus during the day SantaCon was happening, and we had the whole back of the bus was probably full of the most drunk useless people I've ever sort of seen. It was terrible. I hate SantaCon.
You know, the funny thing is that day we were walking through Harlem, and I was carrying my son who'd fallen asleep, and he was wearing a Santa hat. And so everyone was like, SantaCon must have been really rough on that guy.
I mean, that's a funny side joke, but like, how do you feel about like if you were walking down the street and you're trying to have the myth of Santa Claus so your child can have a little bit of joy before it's ripped out of his hands when he becomes an adult, and you just see Santa screaming, getting in fights, and vomiting on the sidewalk? Like, it's supposed to be like a childhood innocence thing, and they're literally like hurting children's abilities to even have that for a moment.
Personally, I'm not that invested in Santa as a concept, and I think it would actually be fun because, like, I like talking my son through those things.
Give him a childhood.
No, I like if you see someone like stumbling around or something like that, I like talking him through that.
That's a very good parenting, actually. That's good.
But
well,
I'm not invested in Santa.
Well, this has been the only podcast
except for Tim Allen's Santa.
Oh wow,
that's the one we should have been talking about, the Santa Claus.
This has been the only podcast that has not mentioned the Santa Claus, nor was it about any film, just holiday films that all of us really enjoy. Shahir, when you are not explaining the cultural microcosms of SantaCon to your young child, where can folks find you?
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if you discovered on this episode that my secret shame
is literally that you just do SantaCon?
I don't do Comic-Con. I don't do anything. I only go to SantaCon and I get wasted.
That's going to be my narrative now.
You can find me dressed as a drunk Santa, not dressed as a drunk Santa, being Santa drunk at shahirdaud.com. That's shahirdaud.com. Matt, when you are not stalking down the streets trying to find every drunk Santa you can to bring them to justice, where can people find you?
You can swear to me at matthewkrol.com for my life and works. Also Skeletor, the number 4, PREZ on Instagram, or Emperor MSK on Twitter. Also, Extra Credit still doing its stuff over there. Got to give one more shout out to the Krampus episode. I'm just in love with it. The art by Joseph Maslov and the writing by Robert Rath are fantastic. If you've ever wondered how the scary stuff actually came to be during the midwinter times, it is a fireside chat that you don't want to miss.
And I think I mentioned it last time, but watch Rare Exports.
Yes. All right, well, we'll be back with an actual film we're watching next time, normal time.
When is this episode dropping?
This is going to be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
So we still haven't watched the movie for the next week right now.
No, we have not.
So you can still email us in.
We mentioned this during the Spider-Verse episode, but email us in about what movie you want us to watch, because right now we'll be on our little holiday vacations. We'll be back, around the closer time. So, let us know.
Don't say Aquaman. Whatever you do.
Aquaman.
Don't say Aquaman.
Aquaman. I don't care one way or the other. Anyway, we'll see you later. Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.